Hello there, you're now watching TVS News at 5 with me, Muhammad Yusuf, and let us begin with our top story. Now, as Sarawak moved to adopt greener technology, Bintulu has been identified as the center for hydrogen plant. The technology implementation is particularly targeted in the sustainable energy generation, in line with the carbon capture usage storage or CCUS trend.
Tanjung Batu Assemblyman Johnny Pang noted that such initiative was possible thanks to the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patigi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg's vision, while urging business community to venture into greater opportunities that will continue to arise.
This is yet another testimony of TVS walking the talk, style of government for the greater common good of all in Bintulu. I strongly believe too, under the current state dynamic administration, Bintulu is in for yet another wave of rapid development.
Meanwhile, he stated that the current telecommunications signal strength in and around Bintulu is in urgent need of improvement and upgrading. Pang suggested that the Sarawak government should look into this area and implement Bintulu's own telecommunications system to solve the posing hindrance of slow Wi-Fi speed.
This subpar internet service delivery is posing great hindrance to e-transaction and e-commerce development, which is becoming a very common platform in the corporate world today. The operator should set up more efficient transmission towers a strategic area to have this issue overcome soonest possible time. And here I would like to suggest our Sarawak government to implement our own telecommunication system.
Now, the 4G telecommunication coverage for populated areas in the Song district increased to 32.04% in the first quarter of 2022. Deputy Minister of Utilities and Telecommunications, Datuk Lee Wan Lagang, said this was an improvement as the percentage increased from 26.02% in the fourth quarter of last year.
A total of 49 locations in Katibas are provided with interim solution for internet service via the broadband wireless access, satellite broadband initiative under the plan Jendela Jalinan Digital Negara ataupun Jendela. Meanwhile, for 4G coverage, expansion program and a total of 19 locations have been identified in Katibas area and currently in various implementation stages.
Meanwhile, further improvements are expected to be implemented after the completion of various coverage expansion programs under the Sarawak Multimedia Authority Rural Transformation or SMART and the National Digital Connectivity Plan Jendela Initiative next year by the Sarawak Multimedia Authority SMA and Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission MCMC. Negotiators enter talks to hammer out the details on Sarawak's special grant entitlement under Article 112D of the Federal Constitution. This is currently being pursued through a joint consultative committee meeting under the Special Council on Malaysia Agreement 1963. To this, the state government has requested for this committee to hold a meeting to discuss on the formula for reviewing the special grants for Sarawak.
Sarawak government we have actually submitted a formula for reviewing the special grant under Article 112D of the Federal Constitution to ensure that the grant to Sarawak can be distributed fairly and equitably. In fact, Yang Amat Berhormat Premier, who is also the Minister of Finance and New Economy, has emphasized that the special grant to Sarawak ought to be based on a reasonable and pragmatic formula. We do not want the federal government to simply give out any figures.
Hasidah spoke during the Q&A session addressing questions submitted by Kota Sentosa State Assemblyman Wilfred Yap, who inquired about the special grant by the federal government to Sabah, which was increased by 4.7 folds in 2022, amounting to 125.6 million ringgit from 2.7 million ringgit. Today marks the 5th day of the State Legislative Assembly Dun sitting on agreements between the federal and Sarawak state government. If both parties are unable to do so, a third party will be appointed.
As provided under Article 112D, bracket 6 of the Federal Constitution, if on any review, the federal government and the state government are unable to reach any agreement on any matter, the matter shall be referred to an independent assessor. We shall refer that to an independent assessor, and his recommendation thereon shall be binding on the federal and the state government and shall be given effect as if they were the agreement of these two governments.
These independent assessors are individual or organizations who evaluates with no vested stake in the outcome.
Now, rising concerns in Bintulu were brought to the attention of the State Legislative Assembly sitting on Monday. Tanjung Batu Assemblyman Johnny Pang said the lack of healthcare facilities, heavy road congestion, affordable housing and the overcrowding in schools were the issues faced by the people of Bintulu.
Tanjung Batu is a wonderful constituency which is formed by a diversity of different communities. Despite so, they all have many things in common. They all want good health so that they can trust the public health system when it is needed. They all want good education for their children and better opportunities for those who follow them. They want to be able to go to work and home again in as little time as possible to spend more time with their loved ones and friends. They also long to be able to afford the house to live.
Due to the rapid increase in population, the capacity of the current general hospital isn't able to cope with the increasing number of patients at the hospital. Therefore, raising an urgency in setting up another branch or second general hospital or expanding the general hospital.
Capacity of the current general hospital doesn't seem to be able to cope with the number of increasing patients visiting the hospital each day. Even finding a car parking is a huge challenge to all the patients and their families, and it is really frustrating when such small matters add up to the burden and stress of having a sick loved ones or being sick themselves.
Additionally, the hottest issue in the constituency of the incapability of handling a high volume of traffic on the road would need an upgrading of the current infrastructure to cater to these problems. Pang also mentioned his vision is that every household in Bintulu would be able to have the means to own a house despite the increase in the cost of construction.
The rising cost of living is being experienced nationwide, particularly in Bintulu, and has become a major issue among my kawasan too. It is going to be one of my priorities to practice an all-inclusive approach to disseminating assistance to the needy of the communities within my capacity as their representative.
With that said, he also hopes to see another new secondary school being set up in order to solve the overcrowding issue in Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Bintulu, which is currently holding far beyond its capacity. The Belgium ambassador Pascal H. Gregory paid a courtesy visit to Deputy Sarawak Premier Dato' Amar Douglas Ugah Embas at his office on Monday, May 23rd. During the visit, Ugah and Pascal discussed the possible collaboration between Antwerp Bruges International Port and Kuching Port. Additionally, the Belgium port is also collaborating and managing ports in Africa, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. Meanwhile, Antwerp International is Europe's largest export port and one of the leading container ports in Europe. Its central location, extensive connections with global markets, and large part of the European hinterland, combined with an excellent infrastructure, makes the port an attractive choice for business opportunities. And by 2028, it plans to receive the first green hydrogen molecules on its platform, as it also aims to be the energy gateway to Europe as a green port. Welcome back. Now Sarawak has achieved full self-sufficiency on its supply of poultry products, including chicken. However, not the same could be said about its supply of meat, where the independence rate stands at 12% for cow and lamb meats and 5.5% for buffalo meat. To address the matter, the state government has initiated the Public-Private Partnership, or PPP, to privatize established livestock production center.
Sehingga kini 2 buah stesen ternakan telah diswastakan, iaitu stesen ternakan Temuduk di Seri Aman untuk pengeluaran baka kambing yang berkualiti dan stesen ternakan Kerabungan di Miri untuk pengeluaran baka lembu berkualiti. Kementerian saya telah juga sedang dalam proses untuk menswastakan stesen ternakan Meragang di Lawas untuk pengeluaran kerbau berkualiti. Terima kasih.
Rahman spoke during the Q&A session submitted by Lingga State Assemblywoman Dayang Norazah Awang Sohor on the 5th day of the State Legislative Assembly Dun sitting. These livestock stations will be led by private companies whose responsibility is to ensure that ruminants breed are of high quality, as they will be supplied to smaller scale farmers and breeders. Rahman also disclosed that these leading companies are also responsible for the marketing their clients' products. On another note, Rahman disclosed that the state government is currently undertaking research and development of a product that could be used to address the increasing price of livestock feed.
Kementerian saya sedang mengkaji kebolehaksanaan penanaman jagung bijian untuk tujuan makanan ternakan di Sarawak. Di samping itu, kementerian juga menjalankan kajian ke atas sumber lain seperti palm kernel cake ataupun PKC dan produk rumbia sebagai makanan tambahan ternakan.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally, just a click away by heading on to our website at www.tvstv.my or by following us on our social media platforms. And that's all the time we have for TVS News at 5. I'm Mohammed Yusuf. Thank you for watching.